breaking the wall between science and film in Africa. Stephane Kenmoe, making science the star, Cameroon.
Yeah. I'm coming from Cameroon, but I'm a chemical physicist working at the University of Duisburg-Essen here in Germany. So, making the world a better place to live for all humans requires improving the conditions of people living in developing or low-income countries. All these countries have something in common, the serious lack of scientific culture. There is a clear relation between how much we invest into science and the economic progress. In Africa, for example, investment into science is very low. So there is a serious need to improve the scientific culture on this continent where I come from. And the project that I had, Making Science a Star, aims at contributing to improve the scientific culture in Africa. So we aim at bringing science to everyone's reach using cinema, film, or movie as vehicles. What we do is that we organize meetings between scientists like me and professionals of the movie industry. We discuss about various topics aligning with local needs, and we try to see how we can disseminate these topics using films and movies. So our first production happened in 2020, a movie series entitled Science in the City, where we not only show how science is perceived in Africa, but also the wonders of science, with a strong focus on basic science and women into science. When we did that, we faced a wall in the film market, because the film market was not open to science. There was no room. So we had to face the room and find a solution. So what we did is that we started a campaign all over Africa. I tried to convince the actors, the celebrity that played in the movie, to make a campaign all over Africa, to schools, secondary school, university, also the general publics. So we went all over Africa, and then during this campaign, I've been amazed by what actors who are not scientists can do. I could see that they can advocate for very complex topics, like CRISPR technology, or they can also convey the scientific truth better than we scientists, even create vocations, even than we scientists. So this was something really amazing. So we tackle various topics. We address not only small children, but also scientists like me, because the campaign is aimed not only to the general public, but also to scientists, to get them out of the lab and to make them engage. And this has sped up the achievement of our goal, because at the beginning, we just got small invitations, mainly from friends around the continent. You see in green, they were just some small isolated islands of interest. But very quickly, the interest to our topics has started to populate the African states. We started getting invited, not only by scientists, but also by decision makers, like in Congo in April, where Congo is now the government that is at the head of the African Union. So we were invited by the government, and then there we, because it was the right person, the president is there for 1 year, and then we have to talk to the right person. And then this was a giant step, because this has sped up also the convergence of the goal that we wanted to achieve in the movie industry. This is, for example, the most popular platform for film in Cameroon. And for the first time, you had something talking about basic science in a zoo of movies talking about drama or comedy or something like that. So for us, it was a small step in the movie industry, but a giant step for the scientific culture in Africa. So we know that we have a long way to go, because it's just a brick that has fallen out of the wall between science and the movie industry. But we are confident that if we multiply our science-spreading actions, this will happen. We will reach a critical mass of engagers, not only scientists, but also people from the society, mirrors of the society like actors, and we will finally break the walls and make a room for science in the movie industry, which is actually the mirror between the science that we want to convey and the general public. So this is the goal of our project, and we believe that if we have people who join us, who understand what is the current situation about science in Africa, we will definitely remove all the bricks from the walls. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stephane. Yeah, really, science movies in Africa, that's amazing. So, if you have any questions from our jury or audience, do we have any questions? Yes, we have one from our jury here.
The movies that you mentioned, are they in multiple languages? Do they have subtitles to address the local dialects across the continent?
Yes, so what we have, because I come from Cameroon, 80% is French. We did it in French, translated in English, and then now we are moving to Swahili to conquer the East African region. And then we also try to translate to local languages, but translators are not easy like in German or English for the moment.
Yeah, maybe after this event. So we have another question here.
When you show the movie afterwards, do you have a kind of a discussion, or how do you follow up with the movie?
Yes, I follow the number of people that the movie reach on the platform. There are also some small extract of the movie on YouTube. There are also, I can also see it from my Facebook page, because it's where I do science communication mostly. And I also have feedback from people handling the platforms. You see, the rating was good. If I can go back, where do we go back here? Sorry. So you see, the rating was good, 9 over 10 for the first time. I think it was really a good step for, just for a beginning.
Great. So do we have any questions from our audience? Yes, we have another question here. Yep. Yeah. From one of our audience.
Okay.
I would like to know if you've seen any long-term discussions, what has been happening in the communities that you've had the discussion with the filmmaker, or with the celebrities and the scientists coming out of this?
Yes, for example, in schools, when I go to school, I can clearly see that when I brought an actor, a very famous one, who played the role of an engineer, all the kids in Kinshasa, they want to be engineer. He's not, they don't look at me, the scientist, they look at the guy that they saw on the TV, you see. And then also when I go to decision makers, they can see that for the first time, the general public is not distracted with drama. They say, for once, somebody is trying to make a room. And then they say, okay, we're gonna push you, but I'm still waiting.
Fabulous. So we can have actually one last question from one of our juries here. Yeah, yes, please. Thank you.
Hi. I want to know what these movies are like. Are they sort of like an educational thing, or are they the kind of thing you would go to the cinema to see? What are they?
Yeah, so it's a mixture of everything. Drama, comedy, didactic movie, and everything. So we do promotion of women in science, basic science, CRISPR technology, for example. We address also Nobel discoveries and things like that. We try to project Africa in 20 years when Nobel discoveries will be applied. What would Africa look like if we invested into science and then that everything was okay? This is a message to decision makers.
Yeah, all the best of luck. So from the US to Chile, to South Africa, to Croatia, to Cameroon, it is just one stop before the end of the first session of today. So we're looking forward to our next engager, but first, massive round of applause here for Stephane.